Hey guys, welcome back to Urban Rhino Tutorials. On today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to use these beads to create a jump ring and bead alternating bracelet. So we are going to switch back and forth between the jump rings and the beads to create kind of a different pattern. The first thing I want to do is pull out a long strand of fishing line, and I'm going to be getting more than what you would probably need. I always tell my students to do that, and you can always trim off the extra. It's better to have a little more than you need than not enough and have to start over. So I have about, let's see, we've got about, measuring it, kind of checking, looks like I've got about 14 inches here. It's folded in half. Actually, it's 16. What I'm going to start doing is closing up all the jump rings. It's important that these are closed so that they don't slip off of the fishing line or beading wire, whatever you choose to use. I'm going to start by just putting one of them on, and I'm going to fold my fishing line in half and bring my two ends together. I'm going to grab a crimp bead. You can see the little bead right there. Grab it with my pliers. You can use your hands if you prefer. And just slide it over both ends of the fishing line. Pull that crimp bead all the way up to the jump ring that's on there. The jump ring obviously will stop it from coming off. And I'm just going to crimp the end like that. Let's kind of move some stuff out of the way here. I'm going to go ahead and clip my, get off some nasty hot glue. We use these boards for everything. I'm going to clip my jump ring end down to this board. You can use a clipboard if you have that. All my students we have this scrap chipboard, which is like a thicker cardboard, and a black clip, which works great. Anytime we are doing any kind of beading where we're putting the fishing line on, we like to use these so the beads don't slide all over the place. So I just trimmed the end of the fishing line a second ago just to get the ends kind of even. I'm going to split these two pieces of fishing line apart, and I'm going to start by putting one of the beads onto one side or the other, it doesn't matter, just like that. Next, I'm going to grab a jump ring. I'm going to put this jump ring over both pieces of the fishing line. So the bead goes on one strand of fishing line, the jump ring goes over both. Next, I'm going to grab a bead again, and I'm going to this time put it on the opposite piece of fishing line and slide it on just like that. So you can start to kind of see the pattern, how it's kind of zigzagging. Again, I'm going to take another jump ring, making sure it's closed up, slide it over both pieces of fishing line, or again, if you're using beading wire, that's fine. And you can kind of see again how that jump ring will start to make a little zigzag. You'll really start to see the pattern more once you get more beads on. So now I'm going to put a bead on that first side that I started on, which was the left side. Again, bring my fishing line together, put the jump ring over both. And now we're back to the right side, putting the bead on the right side. So you can kind of see more of that pattern now. Again, the jump ring is going to go over both strands. If I can get my fingers to work today. There we go. Maybe, just kidding. There we go. Okay, so it's going over both strands. And I'm just going to continue repeating this process. So you can probably see now it's pretty simple to just repeat this process, and you want to continue it all the way until you feel like you have enough length that if you unclip it, it's going to fit your wrist. So I've skipped ahead here, and I've got it filled up. This particular one I did about 6.5 inches. Again, it's going to vary based on the size of your wrist. So I'm going to take a crimp bead. I slid it over both pieces of fishing line. Okay, it's really important that it goes over both. Now I'm going to use a lobster clasp. If you prefer a toggle clasp, you could use that. I'm going to put both pieces of fishing line through the lobster clasp. I want to make sure that lobster clasp does not slide over the crimp bead. Now I'm going to take both ends of the fishing line and go back through that crimp bead to create a loop. I'm going to pull it tight, not too super tight that it doesn't bunch up all the beads, but tight enough. And I crimped it, cut off the extra, and we have our finished bracelet. Very simple. This could really look different based on the beads that you use. So if you liked this tutorial, please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, guys.